In this episode, you could win yourself the Paranormal Exterminators.
This is from 7TV, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is total hand-rubbing stuff.
This is your childhood coming back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Who you gonna call?
Humanity has been driven from Earth, but now it's time to take it back. Join the Reconquest and fight the Scourge on the Drop Zone Commander Hub at beastsofwar.com. Keep your blaster handy, the West is a dangerous place. Fight to survive as men turn to monsters and the dead rise on the Wild West Exodus Hub at beastsofwar.com.
Good morning and welcome to The Weekender. We have a jam-packed show. Some of the highlights of this show, obviously, as I said at the start, you could win the Paranormal Exterminators. Wait for that segment in a little bit. Also, we're announcing our 2015 Halloween Game Designer Challenge.
Here we go again.
Here we go
It
again.
doesn't seem like that long since we had it before.
That's because it hasn't been that long. This is the third Game Designer Challenge. So we ran one for Halloween, we then ran one for Salute, and now we're running another one for Halloween again. So more about that later in the show. But to kick off, okay, we have a segment that I like to call, What the been happening this week?
Did you see your face when you thought he was going to say that? Yeah, it was the moment being like, no, please no.
Okay, so the two guys have been pulling together some just some little kind of signposts to show you guys some of the stuff that's been going on this week. So what have we got?
Yes, indeed. Let's get stuck in with something we've talked about on the Weekender before. Now, there's a set of articles on the website by James Johnson, a.k.a. Oriskany from the website. Now, we talked about this a few weeks back on the Weekender.
Yeah, a few weeks back.
I'm raising it again because the articles are coming still thick and fast. This is number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's all about North Africa and discussing the battles and stuff that took place with Rommel, Montgomery, and Patton. And one of the things I've noticed though, as the set of articles have gone on, is that, for example, well, the image that we just seen there, right? In the first articles, it was a blanket that was sand colored. Now it's a blanket which has sand on it. And it's a great way of him changing Oriskany, changing the layout of the land, because you'll see in that top picture,
Up here,
there's like there's a fort thing, but further on in the article, there's just rolling sand dunes and stuff. And whatever way he's doing it, he's getting lots and lots of different landscapes out of the same bit of material and sand. And I was just looking, I go, do you know what? That's really clever.
See, I don't think he's actually pouring sand on it. I think it's maybe just a mat that he's then putting shaped terrain underneath and then laying down to it.
No, there's definitely
sand on
you
that.
can see at the
Have a
edge
look
there.
closely, and you can see where the sand meets the fabric underneath the sand. He's definitely building that up with sand. I think it looks great. I think it's great.
And his choice of pebbles just adds to it. Now, there's 2 more parts to come. So I'm highlighting it now, and watch out for the other parts as they arrive. Good stuff.
Awesome. What's up next?
Next up is one that I've been keeping an eye on. The guys from Pandemic have done a legacy version. Now, you'll remember Risk Legacy from a while back.
Yes.
Where the game grows and expands as you play through. They're now doing this with Pandemic. And this is one of the hardest games I've ever played to try and beat the game.
Yes. Can you give us a quick rundown of what the game's actually about?
The basic idea is you are a team of crisis management people, right? So you'll have someone who's a doctor, someone who's a scientist, and you're trying to cure specific diseases across the world without pandemics and outbreaks actually destroying the world, destroying the infrastructure. It is an insanely difficult game to beat. I used to play it all the time when we were across in Essex. I still haven't beat the game. That's how difficult it is.
Is there different diseases in it? Because I thought it was just one disease.
No. You have, the way it's marked out is you have 4 sort of areas on the board that you're trying to work through. Each one has its own disease, which then can then spread to the other ones. The problem is you have to actually start doing research and stuff to kill the diseases and then clear it all off before A, your time runs out, or before B, everybody's dead. This is a ridiculously difficult game.
Now, a legacy version of the game.
Yes.
Okay. Explain that. Now, we've seen Risk, for example, is a simple game, but it happens to be one of my favorites. Okay.
Yes.
The legacy version of that meant that
the world grows and changes as you play.
It changes but you permanently change the world by applying
it's
stickers
the
and
same
stuff
for
like
this. There's a
that.
little video with this article just starting to show some of the contents of the box. It's been announced for October time, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be waiting with bated breath for this. And I know Sam will be too, because he loves this game a lot.
Yeah.
Cool, exciting stuff there.
Okay, what's up next?
The next one is the guys from Mara, the guys who did Journey Wrath of Demons.
Yeah.
Now, they've got the Kickstarter is running out nicely. People are starting to get their stuff. But this is seeing what's coming in the future for it. Say hello to Golden Horns. This guy is a big, nasty demon.
Yeah.
I know this grabbed your attention straight away just when you see it. You're like, oh, that. I have to
Well, I mean,
look
look at it. It's a beautiful sculpt, and it's a really nice thing to see where the game's going to go. Because it's nice to have the big push during the Kickstarter. Everything's bright, brash, wonderful. When the Kickstarter's over, then you're getting down to the real work of getting the game running and expanding.
Yeah. Was this part of the Kickstarter, do we know? Or
As far as I know, this is the first one to come out afterwards. Now, I have the name of the sculptor, who is Alan Carasso, I believe. And he's working on another one. So this is actually a pair of two. So
Yeah.
that's the
Where
first of them.
you can see there, the first line says the backers have been receiving their copies.
Yep.
Yeah.
But people can't help wondering what's coming next or in the future.
Ta-da.
So this is obviously coming next or in the future.
Nice stuff. That Journey Wrath of Demons stuff is absolutely
glorious.
beautiful. If you haven't seen it, dear me, go and check it out, because the sculpts that are coming out for that game, for
Mind-blowing.
board game sculpts, are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, what's up next?
The next one is one that gave me a little bit of a giggle. Galaxy Quest, if you remember. You remember the movie? Tom
I
Allen, Sigourney
love
Weaver?
Galaxy Quest. I have two favorite I have lots of different favorite movies for different kinds of circumstances.
Yeah.
For my kickback, chillax, and shut out the world,
Yeah.
my two favorite movies are Galaxy Quest
Yep.
and Mystery Men. So,
choice.
so it's
But
I absolutely
believe
love
this bit of
this.
news?
This came out in 1999. Can you believe it was that long ago now?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What I find hard to believe is that it's taken them this long to actually get round to doing something with it.
Yeah, well,
so,
the talk is they're turning it into a TV series with Amazon. So it'll be interesting to see how much of the old cast to get back on for this.
There's very little details at the minute. It's very light on the ground. I wonder how can you change this into a TV program? Do you take it down the route of actually doing the TV program
Or doing
that the movie was
continuation of
based
the movie.
on, or is it in the same sort of realm, like Justin says, with the movie, and they're in actual outer space with real aliens and stuff?
yeah.
I would like
yeah.
them to do it the same as the movie, because that was just a fun step back from the actual show and being all camp and crazy and stuff.
But they've got to make sure and get great lines into it, like by Granthor's hammer. What
By Grabthar's hammer,
What a
you
sa-
shall be avenged.
No, I prefer it. By Granthor's hammer. What a savings!
Yeah,
The other question is, do you think we'd ever see a board game or something for this? 'Cause I think
I
that'd be
would.
a laugh.
Right, we've all been getting into our dungeon crawlers at the moment. Okay, I think if any game would make a fabulous sci-fi exploratory dungeon crawler type RPG, it would be Galaxy Quest.
All you would need to make it is some sort of rudimentary lathe.
Ow! That one hurt.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. From the little bit of reading I've done on it, I don't think any of the original casts are going to be in it.
I don't know.
I think it would be amazing if they were able to get the original cast, but you would really need Alan Rickman in there to do it. It's
As much as
we'll
I
see.
want to see it, I have a horrible feeling that it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I just
We'll
have this
see.
feeling.
It's one of those things that I wonder, will it be something that just overstays its welcome as part of a TV series?
Quite possible.
Well, I have got to the stage now where I've got to say I'm enjoying much more what they're doing on TV than what they're doing in movies at the moment. I think with some of the fabulous TV series that are coming out, and with the extended format over multiple episodes, they're able to explore the subject matters in much more depth.
Yeah.
I can't help feel like the Avenger movies, for example, and all these comic book movies. Like Spielberg says, it's going to be the Western. They're the new Western. They'll just die out. All of a sudden, they'll be gone. I can't help but look at it and think they'd make better TV shows. Except I've sat down and I've tried to watch Daredevil, and I find it as boring as can be.
Yeah, I haven't enjoyed Daredevil. I haven't
Agents of
haven't
S.H.I.E.L.D.
enjoyed Agents of
I
S.H.I.E.L.D.
don't enjoy that
either.
either.
It's they make better short format take it all life away, enjoy the explosiveness of it.
Yeah.
But you can't take that and put that into TV because the cost per minute of producing that high octane, full of special effects type stuff could never be translated to TV.
Yeah.
The cost would just be too much.
They've done another one following, the agent that was with Captain America in the first Captain America movie. They've done one with her as well now.
Yes, I haven't seen that yet.
Haven't seen that yet.
I'm looking forward to watching that.
But for that high action, explosive stuff, right?
Aye.
That's all very well in a movie. You might have 300 million or whatever that you can spend on a movie.
Yep.
You get the big budget stars and stuff in.
Yep.
You get them together for 6 months. You then do 12 months post-production on the whole thing. You get your ILMs and whatever on board. You blow the budget, okay,
Yep.
and then you pull in 900 million or whatever.
Yeah,
you need
get
twice that before you break even, basically.
Basically, on the run back, it's suddenly an explosive inflow of cash from it.
However,
Yeah.
you're not going to make 900 million on a TV series.
No. Have you watched Gotham?
Yes.
I know he's watched it. I know I've watched it.
No,
I've watched it. I've loved it.
I've loved it too. I'm really glad that there is going to be a second season. I came in and you said there wasn't, and I was like, oh no, I've wasted
There wasn't.
my time.
Is there
But
now?
there is
now going to be a second season.
of Gotham.
Okay, right. Well, okay. So yeah, Galaxy Quest is coming back.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm going home to watch it tonight.
Actually, not a bad idea. To get back in the mood of it.
Well, what Galaxy Quest?
Yes.
Is it out now already?
No.
Oh, the movie. All right. Oh, okay. I was going, what? Okay, right. So, what next? What's up next then?
The next thing isn't so much a piece of news as a correction on our part.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, indeed.
On my part.
What's this wee
I
business
was
pale
using
face?
the royal. I was using sort of the royal
While you weren't here,
royal R.
Yeah.
Justin opened the box and went, wee!
Yeah, I found this.
Right here, we'll stick it under. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I got
this
really
is Privateer's plastic jack.
Get closer.
Yeah.
And I got really excited, quite simply because I had never seen a Privateer plastic kit before.
Yes.
What do you mean you'd never seen a Privateer plastic kit before? We had one.
Yeah, I know we had one. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And so I opened this on camera, having not looked inside the box, and went, "It's plastic! Oh my god!"
Right. Okay.
Just
pass it over.
Whenever we actually had the Convergence battle engine,
Yes.
which was out well before it and is hard plastic.
Yeah.
And it settles.
Have
the
you looked
discussion.
inside this yet? Have you?
Yes, I've had a little peek inside that, but it settles the discussion we had last week.
Yeah.
On whether or not Privateer would be doing big kits.
Yes.
Like, take out the instruction manual as well, Warren, because that's an important
Is
bit.
that, that was one of the things that sprung to mind straight away for me. Is like, are they going to go big with this?
And
This
Well,
would suggest
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah, they went
Yes.
big with this. It was.
this is a full-on battle engine, so I assume that's the main body. You've got armor plates, and look at the detail on the inner workings.
Look at all them cogs.
Yeah, that's lovely,
Yeah.
isn't it? What else
Yeah.
we got there? We've got more armor plates, treads, tracks, and stuff. And what else?
Legs.
Legs.
Lots of legs.
Let's
That is
see the whole
absolutely
spring. There we go.
lovely.
Now you want to have a look at the instructions, yeah?
Yeah, the instructions are good, quite simply because Privateer generally don't do this.
Yeah.
Generally, it's on the back of the box. It's a small little panel, just showing you something about this size, showing you how to put everything together.
Yeah.
But now they're doing these nice full 3D manuals,
Yeah.
which is going to make life a lot better.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Well, there we go.
it's a really, really nicely done thing, and it's a good step for them.
Correction delivered.
Apologies to everybody out there. I done goofed.
Yeah. You done goof.
I like that saying. Right, we have something else in the news, which I
Yeah.
think you'll get excited for.
Uh-huh.
Star Wars are now doing Lego kits. And we're seeing-
This is Force Friday has just passed, isn't
Force
it?
Friday's
So-
just over. It's been bam, 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 bam. Star Wars toys galore.
Yeah.
I think the Lego stuff stands out more than some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
The other stuff's all cool in its own way, but the Lego stuff you look at it and go, "There's a collection I can be jumping on."
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Lego, so it's going to be a little bit expensive for the collection.
I think we have.
It's something you've noticed.
Do we
Yeah.
have big pictures
Yeah.
of these
We do,
items?
we do. So we have the snow speeder, which I'm going to bring it up here. It's a really, really nice kit. Not
Yeah.
sure what all these little green things down the bottom
So
are for.
whose snow speeder is this? Is this Ray's snow speeder or what is this?
No, it's the First Order snow speeder.
Yeah.
You then have Kylo Ren's shuttle.
Yep.
You then have Rey's speeder, not snow speeder.
Yeah.
And you then have Poe's X-Wing fighter, which I think is the coolest of the kits.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that color scheme. That's really, really nice.
It's weird.
I
Is
like it.
Is it black and orange in the movie?
I don't know, but
We're
I
about
like
to
it
find
and I want
out.
it.
We're about
It's
to find
weird
out.
talking about toys for something you haven't yet seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. But these aren't the best toys, Justin.
No, you forced me to put this
I think
one
the
in.
best thing has to be the BB-8 toy.
Yeah, there is a BB-8 toy that you can buy.
Really?
This.
And it's not just some crappy toy. Well, some people might think it's crappy. I think it's quite cool because it actually rolls around just like BB-8 with a magnetic sort of head stuck on the top.
Yeah.
And you can control it with your phone.
Yeah, and it does augmented reality as well.
Yeah.
So you can look at your phone and BB-8's projecting a little X-Wing into the air.
So you can record a message, roll BB-8 up to the wall, look at it through the phone, and it'll project you like a hologram on the wall, and you can give them voice commands like BB-8, go forward, and all this sort of stuff. It's kind of cool. It's a bit gimmicky. It's quite a gimmick for $150 or
that'll
£130.
sell. It's Star Wars. It will sell
But
like hotcakes.
it is money. It's money in the bank. Essentially,
But this was the interesting thing because I remember whenever we first saw BB-8,
we were sort of going, huh?
well, I immediately assumed that what I was looking at in the trailer was CGI, right? I thought, oh, here we go, a whole lot of CGI, and then they announced, no, that robot is entirely real, and they brought it out on stage and it did all this thing, and I was going, well, how the blazes do you make that work? It looks like magic.
Yeah, there have been a few theories. No, not yet.
No, you've done it. You broke my joke.
What is it? Oh, is this how it works? Is it?
Yes, that's the research there, Justin. You done goofed.
So, what is it? A mouse or a gerbil or something inside? Yeah.
With a magnet. You may as well bring up the big picture now of the actual workings.
Yeah.
Now
Well, hang on. Your joke,
hang on,
Lloyd.
the joke.
Stop. Your joke would have worked perfectly this way, because we could say, this is how everybody believes BB-8 works. There have been a lot of theories floating around.
Yeah.
Here's
How does it work? Oh,
Here's Lloyd's theory.
yeah.
Ta-da!
Right.
Your joke would have worked.
Let us
fine.
Let us know in the comments. Was Justin's way of doing it funny?
Right. So, getting back to how it actually works, what the hell am I looking at there?
You're looking at some sort of weird gyro thing. Now, I don't know why there's two different versions. I looked this up on the internet, and these were the most technically correct-ish looking pictures that I could find.
Yeah, but this is people speculating.
I think it's speculating
on how the thing works. You know,
we'll have to wait for one of them Star Wars books where they break it all down in the insides. And
no, what we have to do is to get ourselves a toy BB-8 and crack it open with a hammer and see what's inside.
A baby
And suddenly
gerbil.
the world cried out in anguish. No!
Oh, there is something I should point out. The BB-8 toy is actually kind of it's about that size.
All right, so
Yeah.
it's not very big.
It's not very big at all.
Right, so you're not getting a lot of bang or BB for your money?
Yeah,
So it's a baby BB-8.
it's a baby BB-8.
Okay, grand. Okay, guys, we're going to take a very quick break. After the break, we're going to be talking about a cracking custom miniatures project that's being covered here on Beasts of War, a steampunk witch. We'll be right back after we tell you about some hubs.
In a world controlled by massive corporations, a steady aim and split-second decisions are needed for your megacon to complete its goals. Begin your missions at the Mercs Hub on beastsofwar.com. Flames of War brings you the battles of World War II in epic 15mm scale. Go to the hub on beastsofwar.com to find news, tactics, and tutorials about the game.
Okay, so Dawn, one of our correspondents over in the US, has been involved in kind of like a custom project, and there's a chance to win a beautiful, beautiful prize here. Can you bring us up to speed, guys, on what they've been doing?
Well, basically, Dawn has got involved with some of the guys in the industry to actually create her own miniature, and what she has came up with is a lovely little steampunk witch. Now, if you've been following the article, you'll have seen this image, which is quite lovely.
Yeah.
You know, she looks quite insane and really, really neat.
Can we see some of the work in progress to get to that? Yeah.
Yeah, can we get this image up big?
Yeah.
Right, now, the artwork here is done by Shane Cook of Paranoid Miniatures.
Yeah.
That's who Dawn's working with.
Yep.
And over the course of 2 weeks, they basically took what Dawn had to say and changed it into the concept that you see there. And here's some of the options and things.
So it only took 2 weeks to come up with this.
Yes. It only 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
Dawn herself was rather impressed with being able to take something out of her mind.
Now at this point, because I remember Dawn saying at this point she was able to, make a decision whether she wanted an old witch or a young witch. So she's been exploring lots and lots of different options
Yeah,
on,
and then
on
you have
all
all
of
the
this.
different color options as well. You know, so what sort of style do you want to give it? What mood do you want to give it through the color scheme?
Yeah.
Which is really nice. But recently we've received another piece of artwork which people haven't seen yet,
Yeah.
which is Jezebel down in the sewers.
Uh-huh.
Have a look at this. That is
Oh,
gorgeous.
would you look at that?
I love the tattoo work on the
Jezebel
left arm.
Jezebel's the name that Dawn has come up for this creation.
Yeah.
She had some basic criteria that she wanted to meet.
Yeah.
She wanted to have a female character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wanted it to have a feel that would sit well with the likes of Malifaux, because that's really where she wants
Yeah.
to use this miniature.
Yeah.
Is in games of Malifaux, because she loves that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's working away on it. It's kind of similar to the process Dave.
Yeah,
Dave-
went
Yeah,
through some of the
Dave is
Minotaur
going
guy.
through a process as well.
Yeah.
So, to bring everybody up to speed now, Dawn is going to the next phase of having this miniature
Yeah.
this concept art actually turned into a miniature.
Yes.
And you have a chance of winning one of these miniatures. So she's going to get probably, I would imagine, only a couple of these will ever be made.
These will be an exclusive thing, I would say.
So if you want to be in with a chance of winning a what I think is an absolutely beautiful steampunk witch, I think it is really, really well done. Simply come across over to the article series that Dawn has running at the moment,
Yep.
and post a comment in there, and
Not only
you could
that,
win.
you're going to get some artwork
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, you get the
Oh, right.
artwork as
You're
well.
getting an art print or something with it as well. I haven't seen
Very
it yet,
nice.
but Dawn was describing it. You get the mini, you get the art print.
Yeah.
And it just exploded comment-wise.
Yeah.
People are loving this. And I can see why. It's a cool character that they've come up with.
Yeah, I love the work in progress.
let's see some of that stuff again.
What has really amazed me was that picture of the choice between. Well, look at this one.
Well, this is for some of the poses and weapon stylings, because you can see you've got the cross piece that was actually the final one, and then you've got like big axes.
This is a broom, isn't it? This is what is basically the steampunk broom.
Oh,
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
is that
That's
why she's
probably what
kind
it
of
would be.
standing on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Because Dawn went in fairly loosely on this and said,
Yeah.
look, I want it to be steampunk.
Yep.
I want it to be a witch.
Yep.
And the witch has to have a broom.
Yeah.
So that then evolved into this artwork that you're seeing here.
Yeah,
But
and
bring up the young and the old image, unless
that's-
you have other ones.
Well,
that-
I do have one where you're seeing the stages of the actual drawing and the concept being
Yeah.
brought together, which is this one.
Mhm.
So you start with the plain lining, then the color,
Yeah.
and then sort of the final product. Now, I'm sure there's more stages than this.
Yeah.
But
feel-
it's nice to see it take those steps through.
I feel quite silly now. Actually, now you mention that it's a broom, because when I see it now, it just makes total sense that she
Yeah.
rides around on this and then kicks ass with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like a broom and a weapon in one. How elegant is that?
Yeah, and then the one that really has captured you, Warren, is this young and old one.
Yes.
You know, the actual decision, do I
Look-
want her to be the old hag or...
Well, yeah. Well, what caught me about this is is just. It's a great image, It's showing the attention to detail that the artist actually had that worked with Dawn on this.
Yeah.
To say, here's what it might look like young, here's what it might look like old. I know I'd be keeping all of this, because I'd be saying, that's what Jezebel turns into. After 100 years in the Malifaux world, or maybe a year in the Malifaux world. That's what she turns into. I just think it's fabulous. I just think it's fabulous. I can't wait to see the miniature. So. Again, if you want to be in with a chance of winning that, head on over to beastof.com and check out the stories that we have on this. It'll be a link to it in the show notes of this as well. So
Yeah, and at the top of those videos is a little video of Dawn as well.
Yeah,
talking about
And
it.
you can see just how excited she is about this project.
Yeah.
And how endeared she is with working with Shane Cook on this, and then really enjoying the process.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Okay, right. Competition time.
Right.
But before we get there, let me set the scene, okay? This week has been quite exciting for me, because Crooked Dice,
Yeah.
released an expansion, okay, for their 7TV beta rules,
Yeah.
okay? So the 7TV is a game where you can recreate some of the best TV of the 60s, 70s, 80s. And it's a game where you're playing it, it's an adventure. You can play as spies, you can play kind of like the 70s space kind of TV series like Space 1999, all that kind of stuff. Okay,
you can be the henchmen.
Yeah, you can be henchmen. You can be the cops. You can be the.
Is it not that you're actually filming a TV show? You're not actually fighting this out.
Exactly. This is the point I'm getting to. It also has a quirk in it that you are kind of filming the TV show. There's kind of cards and stuff that come into play. You guys, what kind of cards? We've had a very quick look at the game.
Yeah. Well, I actually found a pair of them, which I thought were kind of cool. If I bring them up on screen, they're nice and big for everybody. You've got Big Break. If you spend star, choose one of your extras. They can make one strike, which automatically succeeds. Then chosen extra cannot activate this turn. So it's basically giving you an extra action with it.
Yeah.
And then you've got, of course, the inevitable explosion.
Yeah.
Which is always a good laugh in any TV show.
Other interesting bits, though, is you can play a card like Commercial Break, right, where the show stops.
Yeah.
And you go for a break. I've played this with Tony. There's a guy, Tony, at the game club, and he is endeared with this game, and he just absolutely loves it. I can't quite remember what the benefit of playing the Commercial Break was.
Yeah.
But there is another thing where you can play, I think it's crowd appreciation.
Yeah.
So that's, you up the amount the audience is enjoying your actions in the show.
Yeah.
Now, in the game that he ran me through, it was just one game, but I did enjoy it. I was playing like this guy with huge flares and hair all over the place, and I could dodge bullets by waving my hair around like this, and the bullets would fly through my flares and stuff like that, because they're trying to shoot me in the legs, but they're actually shooting my flares because they're so big. But it was cool because there was a spy lady with me, and then there was me, and she was all close quarters, like
kung fu
and everybody, and I was running around like this, going. And it ended quite cinematically with me leaving her in the dirt to die.
Trust Muggins here. The damsel is down! The damsel is down! Leave her! I'm out!
Because we were on a special mission to get like a tape or something out of a scientist's office with like secret data on it.
Yeah.
And we got there and we got out of the room, but she got piled into the dirt and got piled on by a load of henchmen, and I just went, sod this, there's a Land Rover there. Land Rover over there.
That's so Bond, though, isn't it? It's like it's the lady that's been with you through the entire adventure. She dies, and you don't even get the chance to make love one last time.
It's more so Lloyd. James Bond would have saved the damsel.
Not at all. Not at all. The
depends.
best Bond movies, the ladies die.
Well, I've not seen those particular.
What do you mean? The Goldfinger, the lady died. Okay, there was Bond's wife was killed at the very end of the movie, and they were driving off into the sunset, and a guy drove up in a car beside him and killed his wife.
Yeah, he doesn't have luck with the ladies.
He doesn't have luck with the ladies.
Okay.
You might think he has all the luck with the ladies, but the reality is...
But I'm from the younger generation of Bond, from Pierce Brosnan onward.
Even in Casino Royale.
I don't like the latest Bond. So I know. My taste in movies is awful.
So awkward all the time.
Anyway, what I particularly love, there's a real cult following of this game, of the 7TV, and some of the gaming tables and stuff you can set up. Like I've seen guys set up what look like James Bond supervillain kind of rocket launch pads and stuff like that. There,
well, in the game I was playing, Tony had Thunderbird 3, which is like the rocket. But he wasn't using it as Thunderbird 3, he was using it as like some secret weapon. And I jumped over it on my way to the Land Rover while I was escaping.
Oh, secret weapon, nope, I'm out.
Right, well, what has got me really, really excited is the release of the Paranormal Exterminators, okay? Yes. So this is an expansion. Now, these rules are currently in beta. You can go along and you can pay a fair price. It's a very interesting way that they're doing it.
This is the actual rules for 7TV, not the Paranormal Exterminators.
So the beta rules for 7TV version 2 are in beta. You can go along, do the I will pay a fair price, whatever you deem that to be.
I don't know why they didn't call it Series 2. Why didn't they keep
Maybe it will be called Series 2 or Season 2.
Season 2.
But then you can download that, and these rules, which are PDF rules, I think the rules for the Paranormal Exterminators cost about £4, then sit on top of these beta rules.
Yeah.
So we have some pictures that I want to show you.
Yeah, so I believe you wanted to show this particular one off first.
Absolutely. Here we go. So the Paranormal Exterminators are there. This is your game if you want to play out some of the real kind of paranormal kind of TV shows and movies from the 70s and the 80s. They have, if you keep going, Justin, they have all the monsters and stuff in there.
Yeah, they have some of the old crowd pleasers as well, because we have some kind of a green slime-like creature.
Yeah, you have Ecton in there. Who's,
some sort of green spud thing.
Yeah, green spud looking thing. Yeah, but also very cool things in there. You have like the Jersey Devil and Mothman, which are very famous kind of creepy monsters from US.
The Jersey Devil. Now, that springs to my mind. Something's bubbling in my mind. Can you tell me what that is? Because I'm sitting here trying to rack my brain to remember what the Jersey Devil is.
Okay, you might remember the Jersey Devil from some series of the X-Files and stuff like that. But basically, what it is it's a winged creature with cloven hoof that is sometimes spotted on the roads as you're going through Jersey.
Is this what that Jeepers Creepers movie was based on?
It could be. It could be.
Maybe something like that.
But sometimes people see it perched on top of buildings, and it's like a really big devil-like creature with the big wings and the hoofs and stuff like that.
This reminded me of a mimic.
So yeah, very creepy. Very creepy.
I say we've got Grace.
Yep.
Always love Grace.
And the Chupacabra's in there.
Oh, the Chupacabra! Brilliant.
Yep.
Is there a banshee?
There's a load more monsters and ghosts and stuff in it, so it's definitely worth checking out. Yeah. Power on through.
Right, next up, we have the stat cards. Now, I've pulled out the ones for the actual Paranormal Exterminators themselves.
Yeah.
So you've got all your stats, all your abilities on this. So you've got sort of special abilities down the bottom.
There's
as well.
star qualities.
Yeah.
Star quality things like enthusiastic. Gain a star for each model with the ghost special effect.
I've just noticed one on steady paycheck. If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say. I think this just has a lot of potential for a whole heap of fun.
Yeah.
I think we have a couple of shots of some of the kind of little gaming table type ideas.
Yeah, well, you see, there's a couple of nice layouts in the actual book. So here you've got your Paranormal Exterminators. There's more than what I would expect there for Paranormal Exterminators.
Yeah,
so
remember.
Extras.
Yeah, well, no, you could have extras, but remember, there's 2 movies of Paranormal Exterminators.
Fair point.
Fair point. You have all the different kind of weapon options there, and I believe you have Janie there, who looks like a Paranormal Exterminator secretary.
She does look a lot like she was a secretary at some point.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing you have to fight then, and I think this one will give you guys a bit of a giggle. You have to fight a dinosaur. I
love this. Love this.
What in the heck? Why?
Because you can do it. You have ghostly dinosaurs. I just think it's awesome. Why wouldn't you have ghostly dinosaurs? They're dead.
Yeah.
Therefore, they can be ghosts.
Well, I suppose you've got millions of years worth of ghosts to draw upon.
You might have one super evil ghost who's calling forth the ghosts of dead dinosaurs.
This is what I love about this, right? Because I was chatting to them, and they have a nice range of the actual exterminators themselves. And I was thinking about the ghosts, and they said, well, really, anything that's dead can be a ghost. And I thought, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So I've been thinking of all the different kinds of miniatures. You can pull historical miniatures. So you could have a guy on horseback. You can even take his head off.
Yep.
If you want actual swirly, floaty ghosts, Privateer Brest do some beautiful little kind of ghostly... Soul tokens.
Yep.
And they look like great little ghosts.
Yep.
Banshee models you can find at the likes of Reaper and stuff. But why not have a ghostly dinosaur? And, I'm just going to paint them all with that kind of ghostly effect that I'm going to be doing on the Kings of War project. So, skeletons. Oh, it's just so cool. I really am. Really am looking forward to this. Anyway, we have a prize this week. If you would like to win the actual Paranormal Investigators, I think we can bring up what the prize is.
Yes, I actually made a little prize screen for this.
If you'd like to win a copy of that expansion, it's a digital copy. You can go and download the digital rule book, and the actual Paranormal Investigators themselves. Well, all you have to do is comment. So comment here on beastsofwar.com, or on this video on YouTube, or on the corresponding post on Facebook, and yes, you could walk away with all you need to play the Paranormal
That's
Exterminators.
quite a cool prize.
This is getting bought. I ain't
Yeah.
getting me this. Now that I see they even have other characters,
Yes,
Yes,
this is getting bought.
it
They have
is
some form
so
of
cool.
gatekeeper.
Yeah, it is so cool. You'll get pretty much everything that's there. You don't get the ghost and you don't get the car, but you get the miniatures.
Well, they don't
and
get the
stuff
car.
like that. Because
This
the
sounds
car's
like a
not
horrible, horrible game show.
the car's not a miniature. You don't get the car or the speedboat. So I'm very excited about it. I'm looking forward to laying out a kind of like a New York hotel
Oh, I see what you're planning.
and getting some beasties. And,
Well, we have those buildings again from Micro Art.
yeah,
Them buildings that we got in. I can't remember the range of them now, but they look like sort of apartment blocks and stuff.
Yeah.
They'd be really cool.
Volsung.
No.
Yes,
well,
well, you
actually,
can
you
use
could
them for
use those.
Volsung.
Yes, we used them for Volsung. They were kind of like the
That's it, yeah.
the 1920s art Deco-y kind of
I
apartment
remember those
blocks.
now.
So
Check out the Volsung videos we have.
Yeah.
And you'll
Yeah.
see the apartment blocks I'm talking about. They'd be great for driving around Echo 1 and stuff on.
Yeah.
Or in and around.
Ecto one.
Ecto 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're going to take a very quick break. We're going to tell you a bit about some hubs. After the break, well, we're going to talk about the 2015 Halloween Amateur Game Designer Challenge.
Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of War Hub. Take command of elves, dwarves, and orcs in this game of masked fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com. It's time for 28mm World War II action. Will you recreate history or reshape it your way? On the Bolt Action Hub at beastsofwar.com.
Okay, welcome back. Right,
It's that time of year.
Halloween Game Designer Challenge.
I'm excited about this. I shouldn't be excited about this because this generally gives us extra work to do.
Yes,
You mean it gives you extra work?
it gives you extra work to do.
But this particular one we're going to talk about turned out to be so good that
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what we can do again.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the Game Designer Challenge? Basically, a couple of times a year we run what's called the Game Designer Challenge, and it's an opportunity for you, yes, you, to become a game designer, to create a game along with one or more partners. Typically, we just have two people involved, okay? A game designer and an illustrator.
Which has worked well.
Yeah.
Because you get the guy formulating the ideas, and then he bounces those ideas off the illustrator, and he goes, yeah, I totally get what you're saying, or I don't get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And once you start introducing 3 or 4 people into it, I
It
get
sounds
to
like a
bet
committee.
too many fingers in the pie.
Yeah, we try to keep it nice and simple. We keep the time frames fairly condensed. And what happens is, if you're a game designer or aspiring to become a game designer, you fill in the little application form describing your idea for a game. And our tiebreaker this year is, how would you change the gaming world? Yeah, it's just a thing. Just tell us a little bit about you. If you're an illustrator, you can go to the same form and choose I'm applying as an illustrator, and then upload some illustrations, some sample illustrations that you've done. We then go through and then we pick the game idea and the game designer that we reckon is not necessarily the best, but probably a combination of what's the best and what we believe is the most achievable and most likely to be able to deliver a game come Halloween. Okay?
Yes, it's an important aspect because it's a very short time frame.
Yeah.
There isn't a huge amount of people that are going to work on it with you. You will get
Yeah.
support. So Warren's absolutely right. It has to be based on what we can actually get to you guys, because we're going to give it away to you guys.
The game is bundled up and given away for free for everybody to enjoy over Halloween and after Halloween and so on and so forth. One of the highlights of the game, or the highlights of the challenge is we're also going to hook you up with one or more professional game designers, so guys from the industry.
mentor.
And they will give you some mentoring as well. So in the past, we've had Alessio Cavatori came on board and acted as a mentor to the guys who did the last one, the last Halloween Game Designer Challenge.
Yeah.
And then when Grant came on and did the Salute Star Wars Gaming Challenge, we had David Esbury come along. And David Esbury actually came to the studio and met up with Grant here at the studios. So it gives you an opportunity to bounce ideas off them, get their feedback on what their approach to creating games and stuff like that is. Okay, you don't need to be anywhere near us. You can be anywhere in the world this time. For the Salute Gaming Challenge, you kind of need to be able to go to Salute. So it narrows the fields a little bit. But for this one, it's quite open. Now, we ran it last year.
Yeah.
Our winners were Kedrick Winks and Gav Roachdown.
Yeah,
Wait till you get a load of
these
this.
two gentlemen right here.
And the game that they ultimately came up with was called Localized. Okay.
So you can see there's Kedrick and Gav on the left.
Yeah, and then a beautiful piece of artwork on the right of people gaming and zombies trying to break in.
That's the quality of art that was coming out of Gav, and I was looking at going, this is great stuff.
I was blown away by this. You know, they opted for a very black, white, and red all over type look. Yeah. This is one of the mission cards. Now, so how it worked is Kedrick and Gav and a whole, I think we had 100 applications at the time.
See, I remember you guys talking about this because I think you did an airport run one day while you were still picking it. And you had created the short list.
Yes.
And you had to create the shorter list.
Yes.
Then you had to create the even shorter list.
Yes.
And
it
then
was very hard to pick.
A short list.
Yes. It took a lot of decision making, but we opted to run for this one.
Yeah.
So then we then contacted Kedrick and said, okay, Kedrick, you're the man. You've got the opportunity to have a go at this. Yeah. And then with Kedrick, we then picked Gav. We then picked the illustrator. So we don't pick the illustrator. We in conjunction, and I say we in conjunction, basically the chosen game designer gets to pick his illustrator. We advise a little bit based on the skills and stuff that we're going to bring to play in terms of putting it all together, doing any additional graphic design and stuff like that. So we know some stuff that might work. We have an idea of what takes a very long time to do, what doesn't take so long to do. So we throw in some advice and try and guide your team through the process as best we can.
If you're an illustrator, what you get is you do your illustrations and things, as we can see there. And then in Beasts of War here in the actual studio, we do all the document layout and pull it all together into one combined package. And if there's any sort of mismatch between images and stuff, we get involved in helping just package it all and make
smoothing
it feel
it
all the same.
Yeah.
So it just gives a nice polished thing at the end up to pass out to everybody.
But Localized was a fantastic game. You know, we got to play it. Basically, the premise of it was that there was zombies in your town. You could pick up any map of your town and play the missions, stuff like that. You could even customize it to your hometown. If you didn't have a map, it also came with a map, which is here.
Yeah.
Which this
is a rather nice brain.
This is Newmort Village, which was in the shape of a brain.
Yeah.
And you had the locations that you could drop on, like the police station and...
The location, for example, if Warren, you bring up the image that's currently on the screen,
that's what we're seeing.
See them little sort of square tokens?
Like pub and
you
supermarket.
You would cut them out, and then you would put them on anywhere on the map.
Yeah.
So any of these locations. So you could decide the pub's here in this game, or maybe in the next game the pub's over there.
Yeah. Or if you were playing on an actual physical map, you could actually lay out where the pub really is, where the supermarket really is, where the church really is, and work from there. It
was cool stuff, and I'm gonna move us on for another image and actually look at some of the cards and stuff.
Some of the items
that came up. Now the item cards and all the cool little illustrations again.
Yeah, and my favourite bit, Warren, they put in our ice cream van.
Yes, our ice cream van made it in.
Yes.
We had a very famous little ice cream van here that we... I don't even remember how it ended up in the studio.
I remember exactly how it happened.
How did it happen?
Talking about the Fantasy Flight Apocalypse RPG games.
Oh my goodness, it even twinkles.
Yeah, and basically Warren's idea was that come the zombie apocalypse, it would be me and him driving around in a gas-powered ice cream van.
Yeah.
I remember some of the illustrations and stuff that came in from that. It was absolutely beautiful. Then Warren came in with it one day and just went, I've got it! Justin, I've got it! I've found it! Look at it! It's amazing!
And I had the ice cream van. So
it's a good example, though, because we didn't actually have an illustration for that.
Yeah.
So we were short, so I quickly did up just the drafted the wheel thing.
Yeah,
but I think that worked well enough, just as a generic thing for each of the vehicles.
And then some of the stuff I helped color in Photoshop as well. This is me just saying you will get support to build this game.
Yeah. Right, so theme-wise, okay, it can be anything except for zombies. because zombies are so 2014.
Right.
So no zombie games this time. It can be anything in the horror genre.
Right, so-
I have a couple of ideas. It doesn't have to be my ideas, but I'm just going to throw them out there.
Right.
And these are kind of based on things. If I had to give you some tips, okay?
Yes.
Do it about something you enjoy, something you know about.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no point in trying to put yourself into something that opens up whole layers of complexities you have to spend hours and hours researching, because, yeah, do it about something you know about and you enjoy. Okay? Keep it simple. So try to think of something that's going to keep it simple to make,
I've got it.
and try to keep it something that's going to make it simple for people to play.
Just before you go into that, simple to make, let me just emphasize that because people will be getting this as a PDF, they need to be able to cut this stuff out.
Yeah.
So squares work well,
Yeah.
rectangles work well, circles aren't so easy to cut out and things like that. So just when you're thinking about it, bear in mind, it's a homemade game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be delivered electronically to people. Make it that it's simple for people to play. If you put too much complexity into the rules, remember Halloween, whenever you're going to launch this, is kind of a time where families and stuff get together. So this might be something a bit later on, played among friends. If there's too much complexity to it, people have a lot of drinking and partying to do on Halloween. So it's...
I don't know, if you do something like a haunted house, because that keeps it a nice self-contained game, might be fun.
Well, it can be a card game. It could be something where you use tokens.
Yeah.
It can be anything you want. It could be an RPG. It could be a little simple RPG.
That could be fun.
So it's entirely up to you. Some of the things that I think you might want to explore, possibly, or I would maybe explore, witches.
That could be fun, but what would it be? A witch's coven out in the forest?
I'm not afraid
or...
of witches anymore.
Yes. Really?
Witches used to be, for me, the scariest thing. Like, do you remember whenever we were kids? My dad, I remember this clearly, took myself and Lloyd to a place called Pendle Hill. Right?
Right. What's this?
Somewhere in the middle of England.
He did a good job of building up the hype about it, though, before he went.
He terrified. We were shitting ourselves, right? Pendle Hill was like the epicenter of witchcraft, right?
Okay.
Over in England.
So all the witches were hidden up in the hills and stuff like that, and you went into it, and it was this beautiful, picturesque little village. Okay, all the old kind of stone kind of buildings, little stone shops and stuff, and even the shops had like witch signs and stuff hanging from them, and you went in and it was all kind of witchcrafty and type stuff.
Even the name Pendle Hill.
I don't know what, something about it just was really creepy.
I just have the image of these two running away from an old lady in the middle of the street going, witch, witch,
Do you want to
witch!
know, the thing about it was, he had us primed so well
Right.
that we walked around Pendle so quietly, and the town was so quiet. My overriding memory of the thing was it was just so quiet, and I kept turning around to look up at the hill and to make sure that there was nothing coming down from the hill. Like, I remember Halloween and stuff like that, and the thought of witches being a terrifying thing.
I can remember me and you dressing as witches, right?
Yes.
One Halloween.
But you're...
We were two fellas.
We dressed-
two little guys.
Yeah, two little men.
In
Two
black
little boys.
in black bin liners.
Yes.
Tied at the waist with like brooms.
And a hat, witch's hat.
We never did it again. And I think it's because he scared the crap out of us about witches.
Yeah, it actually.
I think I can understand why your dad did that.
Yeah, actually, for about 3 years in a row for Halloween, our Halloween costumes consisted of my mum got 2 black bin bags, cut arms and a head out of it, and we'd put them on, and we'd tie a bit of rope around, and that was our witches costume. We got witches hats, the little vacuum formed plastic witches hats.
Yep.
And if we were lucky, we got a couple of brooms. But it was great. It was great. But anyway, witches. If there was some means of exploring a game where you could make witches kind of scary again, and think about potions and cauldrons and them trying to put together potions and things like that there. So
Witches are scary though if you watch the likes of Hansel and Gretel, the new version. Well, they're not that scary. I suppose they have their
They're horrifying, but they're not terrifying.
They're horrifying. That's it.
They're horrifying, but not terrifying.
I have another one. Another concept that you might want to explore. Werewolves, right?
Werewolves
The werewolves.
you could do.
Now, there is Ultimate Werewolf, okay?
Yeah.
Which is but there's a theme to the werewolf that I would love to see if it's possible to explore it. And that's that struggle between when you're a werewolf but you're not actually in wolf form.
Yeah.
You are trying,
Yeah.
what you are, and you're trying to protect those around you. So you're trying to make sure that you have people that are protected, that you either lock yourself away or you lock them away, so as you don't eat them. Right up until the point when the change, when the turn happens, at which point you want to eat and devour everything. Now, what is that, a dichotomy? It's that...
that balance of trying to maintain your humanity while being a monster.
Yes. I wonder, could that be transferred into game form? Either as a kind of an RPG or a card game or some kind of a board game. I wonder, is there something that can be done on that front?
I think I have a book I need to lend you. It's called Fever Dream. Now, it's not werewolves. It follows vampires on the Mississippi.
Yeah.
But it is following one of them who's trying to maintain his humanity, even though he has the red thirst, and eventually every month he goes nuts and has to go out and drink blood.
Yeah.
So I think you might enjoy that.
That sounds cool. Any ideas for...
like I said, a haunted house could be fun. A haunted house could be a lot of fun because, you can do the board game thing, which is how I like these games to go. I like having a board to play on. Something to give me a backdrop. And then just have it as, you could have it as, just a ghost hunt in general. Yeah. So trying to clear out a house of ghosts and stuff.
Well, guys, it's entirely up to you.
There's also mummies. Me and you had a brief chat about that.
Mummies.
And I immediately discounted it in my mind and thought, mummies aren't scary, because it's Hero Quest sitting over there, and I imagined the Hero Quest mummy wrapped in what is it? Bandages and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's not particularly scary. And then I had a wee think about it, and I was thinking, actually, if you go down more the route of the Mummy the movie, where the mummy can do all sorts of weird things.
It's a mummy sorcerer.
Like he has his what are those things? Those Jekyll-y looking creatures and stuff that help him.
Mummies is about as close to zombies as we might let you get, possibly. So it's but there's you could base it on vampires. You could base it on all sorts of. Classic horror. It can be anything, but I'm really, really open-minded about it.
Oh, what might be a fun one? A Frankenstein monster game.
Yeah,
you could have
each player is a mad scientist trying to create their monster.
Yeah,
you could have a sea-themed game.
Yeah,
and maybe the sirens are out to get you or something.
Right. If you want to have a go at it, there'll be a link here and a link in the show notes to the application form. We will be picking a winner very, very quickly. And then, again, it's open to game designers and it's open to illustrators and artists who want to get involved in this. It's just for fun. It's going to be great crack. And we hope that the community enjoys the game that pops out the other end. Okay, guys. That about wraps it up for the Weekender this week. Remember that tomorrow morning over on beastofwar.com we have the XLBS version of the show where we're going to be talking about a whole load of different things, specifically the monster challenge for Justin. If you had Justin trapped in your dungeon and you could spend all day throwing monsters in his direction, it's all things of awesome, so come across.
When did I sign up for this?
Join us over in Backstage.
The day you said mammoth.
Join us over in Backstage, and I guarantee you're going to have some fun with this show tomorrow morning. Right. Thank you guys, and we will see you again next week.
Venture into the dangerous dungeons of myth as a mighty hero and stand against the darkness. Visit the Myth Hub on beastofwar.com and begin your story. From Viking halls to the cities of the future, terrain buffs will love our foreground hub. Watch gaming tables of all genres come to life at beastofwar.com.